Hey, say something real with Michelle Bryan, but Michelle Bryan isn't here, but we still show her so much love. In her absence, she's still here. We feel her presence in here with Mr. Jermaine and Mr. Debo. What's good, brothers?
Call it, man. Cannot call it. Just grateful to be here another day.
Hey, man, I'm grateful to be here, but not at 7 a.m. I'm going to tell Michelle, I love you, Queen, but next time you go, we just going to get the best of like yesterday. You got so many great shows, we just going to pull them out the ball. We're going to pull them out the ball.
Nah, man, they, you know, so much of what Michelle does, and that's what makes it difficult for us on our backside. On the backside of it is that it's because she talks about so many current affairs that they are dated.
Yeah.
So therefore, we sound a little goofy if she talking about stuff that happened, you know.
Yeah, Debo, I was about to say pause, man, because you talking about what we take on our backside. I say pause, brother.
Hey, this dude go right away, man.
Pause, brother.
I thought it was only when Michelle.
No, man, it's every day, all day. All day, every day.
Now, Kweku over there in meditation now. I see you doing another.
It's about to start. It's all calm down. Y'all didn't have Michelle and Keith. Y'all tired. Let's get this show.
Hey, man, I had to make sure there was a pause somewhere up in there, man.
I sit on the back end.
Yeah, but hey, man, still too close. Pause.
No diddy.
No diddy, doc.
Oh boy, y'all go better. Look, I need some cleaning already for my forehead.
Did y'all say no diggity or
no diddy?
No diddy.
No
Okay,
diddy.
no diddy.
No
Okay.
diddy, doc.
I laugh.
Can you pass me the baby oil?
Oh man, a whole heap of it, Jack. You got a whole heap.
I probably need something for my hands with this ass right now. That might not be a bad idea.
Hey man, I don't want to take you in a different direction.
No, go ahead. I got something planned, but let's go with the flow.
But no, I'm noticing. I see you got on the Badger piece, but you've got something around you. Is this a part of the Ramadan? How do you say it, Ramadan?
Ramadan. Well, no, you know what? This is like a turban. I usually wear it on my head. I just didn't have time to put it on. So maybe at the commercial break, I'll put it on and everything like that.
Well,
but yeah,
why don't you put it on now? Well, because we've never seen a turban get tied.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead with the call. We'll do it with the call. Welcome to Michelle Bryan. Say something real. It ain't Michelle, but it's still gonna be real.
Caller, are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning to everyone in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Reed. Hey, man, it's good to hear your voice this morning.
Who's Mr.
It's been
Reed?
a long time.
Oh, no, this is not Jermaine
I know
Reed. That's
you're
my
going to keep
man,
it
though.
real.
Excuse me, sir. That's not Jermaine Reed,
This is
though.
Brother Kweku
Oh, who is it?
show. But
It's
no,
Ride
Jermaine-
Out. It's
Oh,
instead
Jermaine
of
Ride.
Reed,
What?
REED is IDEOUT. This is
Okay, we
Ride
got
Out.
so many Jermaines from
Hey,
WNOB.
Jackson, whole
he
heap, Smith.
thought it was Jermaine Reed.
Yeah.
He said
Oh, this
Mr.
is
Reed, so that's
this
what I
is,
assumed.
This is your name, Right Out.
Yes, sir.
Producer
you're
extraordinaire.
you're hosting the show this morning?
Well, I'm not hosting.
We all co-host.
So we all playing. We all in the
Yeah.
pot. But Kweku.
Okay, hey,
is
man, my
hosting.
bad. But good morning to everyone in the studio.
Top of the morning, sir.
I'm calling in. I'm pretty sure everybody heard the articles yesterday in regards to the litter within our communities. What's your comment on that?
I actually saw that this morning when I was watching the news, getting ready for work, and I do agree with the alderman that it's a lot of lazy people out here because there's no reason why trash should be piling up like that over our city. I think, and this is just me personally, I think that maybe that we can come up with some type of plan that we can put trash cans or some type of trash
Receptacles.
yeah, something outside on these corners.
I mean, we've had that back in the day, and
we was
to your
clean then.
point, yeah, we were one of the cleanest cities in the United States.
But I mean, look at
That's
the parks,
true.
though.
That's
We
very
used to
true.
have some of the cleanest parks, too. But
True,
everything else fell off with it.
Mhm.
The way people
I've been
treat
here-
the community.
I've been in this city for 72 years. And you're absolutely right. This is one of the cleanest cities in the United States.
Yeah.
There used to be people coming from out of town to visit our family, and they said, wow, this city is outstanding in regards to cleanliness. Most of their trash is coming from cars. People are letting their windows down and they're throwing it out of their cars. By putting receptacles on the corner, I don't think that's going to do any good because these people are not going to stop to throw this stuff away in their receptacles.
Too late.
Well, it ain't
to do it.
Wait. I mean, but it ain't even so much of them because even if they do throw it out, if you have it on the corner, people that do care about their neighborhood, when they come outside and see it, even though they didn't do it, then they can pick it up and have somewhere to actually place it because they see the garbage trash cans or the receptacles out there, so they can pick it up, put it in there, and just keep moving because obviously though you're not going to get everybody to fall in line, but for those that do care, you can take the initiative and help clean up your area.
No, you know
right.
Go ahead.
Hey, I just want to say something to the listening audience. Please, I repeat, please talk to your family members, talk to the young people in your household to not litter our city. It's terrible. It looks bad, and it sets a bad example for everyone, including the young kids coming up. If the parents are driving their car and they got young people in their vehicle, and the parents let down the window and they throw their trash out, their children think that that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, they see it.
So let's do a better job. Let's talk to all our family members so we could really turn the city around and make it a cleaner place. And it's a shame. This stuff is just mostly happening on the north side, and we know who lives on the north side. Thank you.
Yeah,
well,
I want to say it's on the south side too, because when you go to a parking lot, it looked like a garbage can. Everybody, as soon as they get out their car, right after, it's right there, and that's the north side. And the thing, and that's Lamont Westmoreland, who's the alderman, who's doing that, and I think that's a good thing because you say, hey, let's bring awareness to it. And to your point, now we can all be more conscious. But go ahead.
No, I was going to say, south side, it do have the north side feel. But when you look at like Wauwatosa and Brookfield and West Dallas and Cudahy, you drive out in those areas. It's a. I mean,
but Brookfield and all of those. No,
Cudahy can be a little Cudahy.
But you know what? Cudahy St. Francis. I just spent some time over there, boy.
Cudahy can be a little
Cudahy. But no, I mean, think about it though. It's like. I remember I was working at a company, and you know how, like, if you're the only black person in a place, they want to ask you. And they was like, well, why do you guys burn up your own neighborhood? But I like, don't nobody own nothing over here, so I won't care. So it ain't like it's really yours. Exactly. So when you go to places, even like if you're trying to do something with real estate, let's say you want to go in the building, they said, well, is it 50% owner occupied? When you go move into a house, what's the living conditions around it? Because they know where people own stuff, they care about it more.
They take care.
So when you got somewhere, you say, this mine, but it ain't really mine. I don't care. But I think we got to go deeper. I think that garbage on the street is symbolic. You know, like when you talk about, do I really feel like this is mine? Do I feel like this is my area and my home? And so when you dirty and then you littering, what you're saying is, I don't really care because this don't really feel like my home. But it's also symptomatic about what's going on inside, because when you're around trash, that's what it feels. Think about how you feel good when your car is clean, when your home and your house is clean. It just feels like a better environment. And it's always funny because your house be dirty, then you go to a hotel, they don't clean up in time. You're like, where the people at? Get my room clean, because it's something about that cleanliness.
Yeah, that's true, man. Deion Sanders said it, and it made me think. He said that when you look good, you feel good. You dress good,
you
know what I mean?
Good.
So all of that, and that is true.
Think about how when you get that car washed.
Come on.
Car seem to
lean
run
it to the side. You can't speed
you feel
through.
better about it. You
2 miles an hour.
You see cats coming to the barbershop with that brand new crispy hat. Man, after you get your haircut, you can't put the hat on.
Man, you got the hat on your head.
That's an insult to the barber, first of all. But you don't want to mess up your hair.
Yeah, man. You got your hat on your head.
I got the memories.
But quick question, guys.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes I think I'm nothing short of a genius.
Okay, come on.
Because I don't think the city officials have figured this one out yet. Would you say that this tire dumping is a tire shop?
No. Or yeah.
Who else accumulates that many
all
tires?
The tires. I think, because I thought about that. some of these
ninjas.
It's a tire shop, man.
No, I agree
is
with you.
exactly what it is.
There's more than
from
one.
these shops, man, that get these tires that's busted up and
they charge you $25
yeah.
for disposal.
Right.
and then they take them and then they go dump them somewhere because they got to get rid of them because they can't keep them, to where they're doing the tires at because it's gonna pile up.
Where else it come? Because think about it, like when you look in the waters and it's doing something, it's usually the chemical companies or something like that that's trying to backdoor it. When you look at some of them lots that fill with stuff, those be them absentee landlords that done had to clean this out, don't know what to do with it and just dump it in the thing and make it look like it's the people.
It most definitely ain't Pookie and Ray Ray.
No,
there's too many tires to just
think about it. Come on, man. It ain't Pookie.
Hey, listen, I used to live on Titonia and Ruby.
Oh, you was over there?
I didn't have no garage.
Oh yeah.
Man, you know how some people like you?
Yeah.
Man, somebody stole my car, stole all 4 tires,
Wow.
but then put 4 replacement tires on.
Oh,
that's how you know with somebody who be like, I don't really want to do it.
Yeah, I don't want to do it. Hey, but I need those. I gotta get those.
But it's also somebody that had access.
Yeah.
No, they broke in because there wasn't no garage. It was just.
But I'm saying they put 4 replacement tires on your car.
Yeah, that's some tire people.
Yeah, they like, let me get those, and we gonna resell your tires back to you.
We got some.
We ain't gonna leave you out there like that,
they didn't leave me on brick.
We got, as Michelle said, we got you, bruh.
They didn't leave me on
tire
brick.
people that's been out here for a minute.
Yeah, I would venture to say that's tire people, man. Somebody that's got 3 or 4 shops.
Yeah, but while we cleaning the outside, I hope they clean the inside too. Let's get this lead out the water. Let's not just do one thing.
But I've been noticing the city has been doing the lead laterals. They've been working on them.
They working on it, but I would have wished it was quicker. I wish it was sooner, and I wish it was at a higher pace. We got a caller. Yeah, we got a caller. You on with us?
Hope it ain't the tire
with
shop.
The trio.
The tire shop.
I hope it is because we got some words.
We got some questions, and it ain't 21 of them.
Good morning, Mr. Devo, Mr. Keith, and Mr. Ryder. This is Angela.
Okay, Angela Keith is not here. Let's get that right. It's Dr. Kweku with us this morning.
Oh, okay. Well, good morning, Dr. Kweku.
Oh, it's just Kweku. Good love.
Okay, well, good morning. So anyways, I'm glad you guys are speaking on that because I get up every morning in the area I live and I clean up the trash outside because where I live from, they throw diapers and whiskey bottles and beer cans, I don't want to see all that because I'm not, I don't want to see that in my area, on my grass, nowhere around me. So, I get out every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning, I pick that up. I just came in and I heard y'all talking about that. I said, well, let me call in because I'm in Andrea Pratt area, and I got a direct line to her. I call and I tell her what's going on over here, and she gets on it, and I appreciate that in her. But it's these neighbors, they go right in their house, they get out their car and throw it in the grass. You finna go in the house and put the receptacles outside on the street. They ain't gonna use them. They gonna throw the trash in the street. So it's a waste of putting the garbage can anyway.
No, wait, because if they don't use them, people like yourself that care about the neighborhood will use them.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
So you're not gonna get everybody on board, which is okay. It's unfortunate, but it's okay.
It's a reality.
Right, it is. Yeah, it is because I don't complain. I've been living over here for 2 years. I've been doing it from the day one since I moved here. Yeah. All but except in the winter time, I don't get out there. But in the summer, I'm out there every day.
And I'm sure, man, that there's people in our community that feel just like you, that care just like you, that come outside and don't want to see diapers and stuff out there. So if you put the trash cans or the receptacles out there, now that they're seeing it, maybe they can start a trend and they can start something and it can trickle down to everybody in the neighborhood. Because if they see Miss Jones doing it, then maybe Robert will hop on, and then Larry will hop on, and everybody else that's a part of the neighborhood that would hop on.
Yeah, and then I'm going on 24th and Builder. My doctor is over there. They had nothing but tires all out on across the street by that park.
Yeah,
2 loads of them. And I was like, unbelievable. And it was a mattress up the street.
Yeah. A mattress?
Yeah, a mattress.
That's trifling.
Like a queen size mattress, a king size mattress. It was up the street.
It was up the street.
You know, when we was
Yeah.
kids, we didn't
We
mind
used to
seeing the
flip on
mattress.
the-
Oh, now we can jump off the
Right.
garage and flip on the thing.
Right, exactly. But I've been living in Milwaukee all my life, and this used to be a clean city.
It did.
But you know what?
Very clean.
It's still not the worst I've seen, though. So
No,
I mean,
it's not.
we could
it's
do much
not.
better, but we
But
had
you know
by
what gets
not
me,
by far the
Mr.
worst.
Debo,
What's that?
is when I go over there by St. Mary's, and it's just the streets are so smooth.
beautiful.
You don't see no
Yeah.
paper. You see clean cut grass. You know, it's just like, come on.
Yeah.
You know what? It's
Just
it's funny
because
you say that.
we living in the inner city, we still deserve the same thing that they getting over there.
I agree.
You know, it's two things I'm gonna say to the Queen, because you know, I tell people, if you want to see Milwaukee, what Milwaukee is, I say go to North Avenue, start at Lake Drive, and then go
Yeah.
all the way
Come
down
on,
to
man.
200th Street,
Yep.
Come on,
and
man.
you will see what neighborhood you in, because just what you talked about, it go from clean, and you see it building up to look like
Yep.
don't nobody love or care about it. But that's also
Right.
what policing. It's also about the rules they do. And the second point I was gonna say, every time like we come up with a rule to do something good, we make it punitive. So instead of saying, hey, we're gonna find these people, we just talked about this being in Sister Pratt. We talk about Westmoreland. We know we got Alderman Taylor out there. Charlotte Moore. You got all of these different people. Why don't we do like cleanup days every Saturday, where it's something that we
Exactly.
do on a
Mhm.
regular?
Right.
And then if Andre Lee Ellis can get $25 out of his pocket and tell everybody come in and put a little change in these people's pocket, how much more motivation is that if we incentivize it instead of making it punitive? Because any law that becomes punitive, you know who is disproportionately right to. So
Yeah.
now you got
Right.
a kid that done did something he should have did, but now it's penalizing his mama financially, and gonna be just another thing on his record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree, because I was watching on the news when they were saying how the fines had went up for, I think, $25 to $500 or something.
500.
So if you had that on the opposite end of, if you get caught, we gonna give you this.
Well,
Let's
what if you get
reverse
caught
that.
cleaning?
Let's
Like Miss
reverse.
Angela,
There you
we
go.
gonna give you
Let's
500.
reverse that, because then, just like, and I'm gonna piggyback and say this: you got Elon Musk paying people to go vote.
Come on.
Right.
Why not
Exactly.
take that game plan, put it into the community, and be like, you know what? That we'll pay you for those that's caught cleaning up. That we'll give you $50. We'll
Listen,
give you this. We'll give you that.
My first summer job was with the city, and our
Oh,
job was cleaning up them vacant lots. We was taking wet whacks and whackers and knocking down weeds and everything like
Do
that.
y'all remember when they used to have the inmates come clean up the
Yeah.
the highway
Yeah.
and stuff? Yeah, you know, I mean, like, I was just like,
And it's
I'm
still
baffled.
organizations who do that, because you'll see they had somebody adopted a highway and whatnot like
Mhm.
that. We just need to do that more on a regular basis. Like the
Right.
citizens like you who say, you know what, I don't need to get paid. I'm just doing this because it's the right thing to do to get up.
Yeah,
But if somebody did it on Tuesday and you just had to do it on Monday, how much easier would that be for you? And
Yeah.
if we can remember back in the day when you need to get the whole block together for the shows, the snow plow,
Yeah.
and you say, you give us 10, you give us 10,
Yeah.
we get somebody come through. It needs to be
Right.
that type of community again. But that goes back to the lack of community. You not knowing your neighbors, being able to knock on their house, if not wanting to be able to.
and the lady that lives next door to me, I never really seen her. I see her going, but then one day I stopped her and I said, "Hi, my name is such and such, and I've been living over here for this amount of time. And what is your name?" So I just met this young lady. She owns the house next door. I said, "Well, I don't want you to feel like I'm walking all up on your house or nothing, but I am cleaning up your paper out here, you know." And I'm just letting her know, I don't want you to think I'm snooping around your house, but I'm cleaning up your yard because I don't want it coming all over looking bad. You know, we all got to live over here. But I don't ask nobody to help me. You see me doing it, just
Sure
come
you were
help. But
cleaning up
if
her
they
yard.
don't,
Yeah.
Sure, you were cleaning up her yard. Sure, you.
I was. Don't play with me, Mr. Debo.
Don't you play with her.
Peeping through the window.
Oh, no.
You see what they live.
All right, well, you gentlemen have a blessed
We
day, and
appreciate
I
you.
enjoyed the conversation with
Keep
you
doing
all.
what you're doing, Queen. We
Thanks,
appreciate
Angela.
you.
All the time.
Good hearing from you.
Yes, sir. Y'all have a blessed one.
All right, you too.
No, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I know, Debo, you was about to get into something. You said you wanted to ask a question or something before.
I did.
Someone asked the question.
I asked the question about the tires.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tire shop, you know.
And it do make a lot of sense, because again, no regular Joe is carrying all them tires and dumping them somewhere. So
Yeah, somebody got to find them a sweet spot.
Man.
Something is going on.
They always looking. They always looking. But it's funny, like we talk about this because this was on my list to talk about was the was the cleanup area. But you had said something about Elon, which brought me to what I said. What would Michelle be talking about if she was here? And I can't think nothing about but like Signal and these texts and
Oh my God,
and the inability to apologize, to admit that okay, you know what, we did something very stupid. This was we was bogus, and somebody got to take, whenever something bad happens, somebody got to fall on the sword. Wasn't nobody even honorable enough to say, you know what, this was so horrific that this is what we gonna do. Somebody gonna fall on the sword.
And this is the crazy part about it. After going, what is going on?
My silly phone over here.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Telephone.
You got the music playing.
Yeah,
Everybody
like,
was here.
I ain't gonna take my job.
No, some good piano.
No,
backtracks about it.
But I was just watching on the news and just watching, clips of how these guys are blaming the
Jeffrey Goldberg, the editor of Atlantic.
They are blaming him, calling them scum buckets and the lowest of the lows.
Because of that email that they
because he exposed what they sent out. And then after all of that, overnight, they wait to apologize and say they made a mistake. Now everybody is saying, well, if you have never made a mistake, then, then you can say something, but everybody has made a mistake and it's a mistake. But at first you were saying
there was some information in it that
I get it though. It was some more stuff that would have,
like, if I eat your sandwich out the lunchbox, out the refrigerator, that's a mistake.
That's a mistake.
No, if I sleep with your wife,
that's perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's perfect.
You can't come back from that.
Exactly.
You like somebody got to die. Like, it's different levels.
Exactly.
This is not like just a mistake for a mistake, apple to apples.
And then what tripped me out is when they were sitting in front of the Democratic people, when they was questioning them, asking them.
I can't recall.
I can't recall. I
don't know.
I can't recall. So how did he get added?
Oliver North.
How did he get added to the thread?
No, that was Mike Waltz.
I don't know.
So I know. But Mike Waltz came out
afterwards.
And took a credit. But let's go back to the beginning.
Now that's the guy that replaced the 5-star general, right?
No, that was Pete Hex.
No, Pete Hex, and he was the one talking about the one.
He was the one who said he's a liar
about the one
and whatnot like that.
Yeah.
So you go into it, and this is the crazy part about it, because one, they on Signal, like you and I can get on Signal, so it's not government encrypted,
right?
And when those transcripts come out, you gonna see who's telling the truth and who won.
But they don't already put out the screenshots of it. This is the crazy part. So you already doing vulnerable information, and it's just like you don't even know who on the thread.
You don't even know who on the thread.
So if I'm on the thread, I'm looking at this group and say, okay, A is here, B is here, C is here. So you had Pete, you had Mike, you had JD Vance, Marco Rubio, Tulsi Goldberg, you had Scott Bassett, you had Susie Wiles, and then you had Stephen Miller, John Radcliffe, Brian McCormick. So you know those names.
Yeah.
He was like, okay, this CIA, this Department of Security, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Treasury. You know who's on here.
Yeah.
But then you got this JG. Some would make you say,
who's that?
Who this?
Yeah.
And then you know how you remember you be on Zoom and somebody try to come in, you be like, y'all know who that is.
Yep.
Well, until you identify yourself clearly, we're gonna delete you
and
then come back or identify yourself.
Yep.
But they did this and was doing information after information. Now this is the scary part where I don't know if we all caught. So he caught this. Now shame on him. You say shame on him. What? If he knew that they had this information, he's got to be thinking, well, who else might have this information that I got? So he should have informed them, hey, y'all put me on here. You didn't mean to. Y'all need to check this. Because the thing is, other people probably got this too besides just him.
But do you think maybe he did and still exposed him?
No. Oh, he exposed him, because if he would have brought this out earlier, it could have been more trouble. But what I'm saying is, just think about who else was on that line.
Yeah.
Because the thing is this, I don't have to be on the thread to hack it to get information to it. So the people probably looking at it saying, oh, this is what they doing.
Yeah.
Let me stay up on it. So him exposing them is good. But one of the people on Fox said they might still use Signal.
But this is the thing. I wonder how many other people, I wonder how many other times they used this and sent out classified information, but just didn't get exposed.
Come on. This couldn't have been the first time. If
Come
this
on,
is
man.
a Yemen strike,
Think
this
about
this thing,
Yeah.
and the stuff that's on that tape. I know that's the music. We got to get back. But hey, you listen to Michelle Bryant, Say Something Real on WNOV 860 AM. Join us on the phone line as we talking about our democracy at stake with them. They called it the West Wing. I think it's what the weirdo ring. Something.
Donald Trump is out of control, stopping payments for healthcare and food for hungry kids, eliminating the Department of Education, and letting Elon Musk access your most private information. Now Trump and Musk are backing Brad Schimmel because they know he'll let them do whatever they want. Not Judge Susan Crawford. She'll be the check and balance we need to protect us from Trump when he goes too far. That's why we need Judge Susan Crawford on the voice.
1, 2. Testing 1, 2. All right, party people in the place to be. The party is already started.
And I got all my sisters with me.
Welcome back to Say Something Real with Michelle Bryan. I'm Kweku Akyirefi sitting in for the queen for this week. Hey, we got a phone call right away, so we're going to go right to the call. Caller, you on. Say something real.
Oh, I'm going to say something real, my brother. God bless you.
Bless
I can't
you.
say your name. It's my first time seeing you. And to Devo and Right Out, God bless you.
As well.
Well, first of all, I've been here since 1979. I own my house. I live, very close to the radio station. And what really bothered me the most is just that to me is Sherman Boulevard. Now I know my area is bad, but Sherman Boulevard is a beautiful. I mean, all the mansions and all that. My church is between here and there. Just completely like somebody just took trash dump after trash dump after trash dump and dumped it in the deep bins of that area. Okay, and then there's Capitol Drive. Of course, there's businesses on Capitol Drive, the store, restaurants, whatever you want to call it. There's that. Okay, you back up towards Wendy's, McDonald's, and the gas stations. There's the old fire station. I'm going to be calling my alderman because unless something gets done, the old fire station is just a junk heap there. I don't know what they're going to do with that fire station, but there was blankets, towels, you name it. I said, I had it. I'm sick of this. See, we have got to stop. I live off of 25th Street. I get so angry. I hate garbage. I would get my pick stick. There's a plug pick stick.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to bend down. Just get a bag, get some gloves on, and go down. Because a lot of our people on my block, including present company. I'm not elderly, but I'm a senior. Okay, I don't mind getting my exercise, and I would go down the block on my side, cross the street, and go on the other side and pick up the trash. Now, then one day I did it, and the lady said, "Oh, you're so sweet." I said, "Y'all can get out here and do this too, because this is our block, our community. What is wrong with y'all?" And the young lady looked at me and said, "I ain't getting out there." I said, "Why are you throwing diapers out here? Why is the whiskey bottles in front of my house every day? Because you don't care. You've got to care about the beautiful planet that God gave us."
Come on.
He did that. He didn't tell us to litter. He gave us dominion over the animal. And so I had a raccoon say, "Hey, he came up on my porch and tore my porch up."
Is it like he lived there? Did he pay you any rent?
He ain't paying me nothing. Ain't getting me I'm still waiting on it, but he died right on my porch. I had to tear my whole porch out, man. And that thing stank for 2 days. Oh, Lord Jesus. Y'all didn't tell me raccoons was that bad. So anyway, I'm just saying.
No, we got to take care of our area. You're right. This is ours. We got to treat it like we love it.
That's right. And I really appreciate you all addressing this area, this issue. It is we on hands, because then when I hear, like you said, when I go out to Franklin to pick up my medication, because that's my pharmacist out there.
Pristine and clean.
Man, I get so upset. I'm happy for them though. God bless you.
Oh,
God keep you
God bless
all,
you. We
and you have a
accept
good
those
day.
praises and blessings, Queen.
All right, now.
And see, this is what made me mad. Even like we talk about, Elon Musk and what they doing at the federal level, but we take it to a state level. So let's look at, we got Schimmel and Crawford running for Supreme Court. He said, well, what they got to do with the trash? They done spent $73 million on these elections. So get me well, hit me well.
Man.
And I understand Wisconsin's a battleground state. Me and Debo was talking about this off air. What happens is Wisconsin is going to be kind of a feel of what, if it's going to be that blue wave in 2026, what's really the feeling, because they know Wisconsin's a battleground state. So how we move, the nation is going to look at. But I'm thinking like this. Your boy Elon spent $14 million. Just gave that to Schimmel. Then he gave another $2 million to the Republican Party. And then you know what the Republican Party did? They slid 1.2 to Schimmel, like we didn't know where that money came. But what I'm saying is we got all that money. So it ain't like we can't fix these problems if we don't want to, if it's about a lack of cash. Because how many people sick of these political commercials? Man. I mean, this is when they want to put it in. Yeah. And I was like, what if we use that money for something proactive, for something positive? Like you said, paying the people to go ahead and clean their yard. Or you know what if you say, hey, we're going to take off something on your taxes if we can show that you did. You know how many more people would be willing, even the landlords who absent, they say, I'm going to pay somebody to do this so I could get that benefit on my taxes. We got to become creative in ways to be able to do this. And as the caller just said, if they can do it in Franklin, they can do it in Waukesha, they ain't no better than that. So the question is, what do we got to do to motivate ourselves to be able to keep ourselves looking right? Go ahead on it.
Money rules everything around me.
Cream.
Dollar bill.
Come on.
So basically, what that is saying is, voting, you can vote for free, but if I give you some type of monetary gift for voting, you're gonna make that your number one thing. You're gonna go get it because everybody knows that money makes the world go around. So you need money to whether you got
that,
have it or not, though you still need it.
Who running America now? You got all the oligarchs. You got Zuckerberg. You got your boy Elon. You got your boy from Amazon, Bezos. And when you talk about Google, you talk about all of the big boys from Apple. It's that money that got them close to Trump, but it's that money that put everything together. When we talk about that Project 2025, we seeing that materialize before our face, and that goes into what? Getting everybody who will be the sycophants for these oligarchs to be able to carry out that mission. And part of that mission is this. They understand if they keep you mired in dirt, they keep you mired in dirtiness and filth, that gives you an example of who you are, what you're supposed to be. It don't give you that self of pride that you're talking about. So once we get ourselves together, and what we got to recognize, it's not coming from the federal level. It's not even coming from the high state level. So this is my appeal to every alderman, for every even state senator that's coming around in these districts here. So what is going to be our thing to not only just keep our areas clean, but keep them safe, but give us that hope again in this real area where we have no hope.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, man. It's unfortunate, man, that that we even having this conversation, man, because
they can fix what they want to fix.
That's all I'm saying. They can fix whatever they want to fix. So this goes to show me that they don't want to fix this. So they want to keep people in a certain demographic.
Yeah, in a certain demographic, like down. And it's like, I mean, we understand, like, even when you look at Project 2025, they said we want anything that's DEI or woke, we against. But think about what they're saying. If you woke, well, that's biblical. It says stay vigilant, stay alert, because your adversary, the devil, was out like a roaring lion, seeking whom he can devour. So the key is to be woke, because if you sleep, that's like being blind. And if the blind follow the blind, they both fall in the ditch. So I say all that to say this. We're talking about, where are we going? We understand that this DEI woke thing is nothing but Plessy versus Ferguson. When we had those 12 years during that time of reclamation, they was like, oh, hold on, these people powerful. Look at what they doing. Yeah. We talk about our black queens, the 92%. Those 92% of women say, listen, you better bring Sister Harris up in here. And I ain't saying like, oh, she was perfect, but oh, what a breath of fresh air she would have been compared to what we got right now. Yeah. And so when you start saying, oh, these black women are the most educated populace. And even though they're low in numbers, look at how powerful they are. Look at what they're doing. Look at how they're growing. Look at the influence that they have. It was like, we got to put a hold to this. And just like Plessy versus Ferguson put a hold to all of the things that the Emancipation Proclamation was supposedly supposed to do, we seeing the same thing if we don't do something. My question is, it's like, when do we do something? And you look at Jasmine Crockett. Now she in a little trouble right now, but she one of the few people. No, you can't call them Hot Wheels. You can't call them Governor Hot Wheels.
That was funny,
but you know we need her.
But you got the president of the United States talking about people with mental illness.
Yeah. Okay.
Talking about
so I'm gonna stop you because you know what the whole thing. As soon as we do what they do,
But I'm saying, man, but what's good for the goose should be good for the gander.
I'm gonna give you this. When she went off on Marjorie, 100. You get your 6 B's in. You get your 6 B's in. You could have got Abbott. And remember when Obama was bowling, he was horrible. He was like, "Yeah, I was looking like Special Olympics out there."
Yeah,
man, they got on. It's that kind of situation. Because when you say Hot Wheels, now you're going against a whole population that's sensitive to that. So if you want to get on Abbott, get on Abbott. But you got to be. It's like this, Because when I do sport, we always say, "Hey, to the best player, don't let this little weak player get in your head and get y'all both kicked out." And then it's there. We can't afford to lose Jasmine because, like you said, she is the one with the heart. Did you see how the Attorney General was going after her? She had said, "Hey, March 29th is my birthday," Jasmine Crockett. She was like, "We want to see what's going to happen." And she said, "I want to take Elon Musk to be shut down." The Attorney General was like, "She better watch out because her words got power." Now, if somebody mess around and do something explosive, why wouldn't they pull her in for a conspiracy? So what I'm telling the queen is this: I love your fight, but they fight dirty and they don't fight fair. So what they can do, you can't do. So she's smart. So she know how to, just like what she did with Marjorie Taylor Greene. She didn't even direct it at Marjorie Taylor Greene. She was just like, well, what if I said? So she could have that plausible deniability, that thing where it's not to a direct member of the committee. I just need her to be that because she getting loose. And I want her to get loose, but I got her. She got to be smarter because we need her. We need her we need her more than Hakeem Jeffries. We need her more than Chuck Schumer. Chuck Schumer done sold out the Democrats. So they don't even have unity within there. So you need somebody to say, "Hey, we gonna come up." And if they know that they can take her out, and on something that might be legitimate within the books, she got to be careful. That's all I'm saying. I love her spit. I would never tell the sister to calm down. But what I say is, they dirty. They dirty.
And you are most definitely on their radar because they
done call her the unquestioned leader of the Democratic Party. They got Mike Johnson trying to censor her. Now, Al Green already got censored from Texas.
I've seen that.
So you start thinking about, man, these people don't care. Now, who they done censored from the Republican Party? These people, again, going back to the secrets, they done gave out secrets. And Trump said, well, they make a mistake. He should be forgiven.
And then Trump said, oh, well, he's a fine man. It's not about if he's a fine man. It's about what he did. So to change the narrative and try to move the goalpost is what they do, which is crazy to me.
But see, this it's sort of like it go back to the trash. It's like how much enough is enough. If we see them allow certain things in certain neighborhoods, but not in other neighborhoods, we like, well, who to blame at the end of the day? And if they not gonna help us, we got to see ourselves. That's like when Angela called and said, I get out here and I do this. We had other people call. That's when it comes upon us to be able to say, hey, what are we gonna do? Think about this. When you first get a job, Debo, what they give you? They give you 90-day probation. That means they can fire you without cause, without nothing. Now we keep talking about these first 100 days of Trump. So just think about what we done accepted in this. I don't think anybody got a problem with Doge in theory. Department of Government Efficiency is a good term. I want us to cut off fat where it don't need to be spent. But what they doing with a chainsaw, recklessly, where they fire people, got to get somebody back in, you was like, okay, they don't know what they doing. You look at the border. Everybody want a safe border. Okay, you done stop the border in some ways. That's good. But look at all of the people you calling terror to that don't even deserve it. The people you pulling out, the people you making fear, or the people that might be here, quote unquote, illegal, like Elon Musk was. Elon Musk's brother said in the interview when they was talking, he was like, we was here wrong. We came in here wrong. And they from South Africa with some bread. So when you see that, you say, they're not consistent with this. So this is what we accepting. We accepting Doge, and me and Debo was talking about, okay, but Elon, who ain't even elected. Before all of this stuff came out about Signal, they was talking about Elon getting war stuff, information. Then they was like, no, that's not true. And the only reason we couldn't say it is because we didn't have the ocular proof, but we got it with this. So you start thinking, I don't know, man. It's crazy to me that the stuff that we let them get away with. Trump came in talking about the budget. I'm gonna do it day one. Eggs still $13.99.
I mean, that's what I don't understand, because he said he was going to lower this and do that. He's been in office. This is January, February, March. This March going on April.
We about a little over 60 days been with him.
And like you said, eggs are still $12,000. You know, everything is up, but he blamed Biden and the previous administrations. And
but it wasn't as bad with that. Like, even when they talk about like the economy was bad, everybody's economy was bad because it was recovering from COVID.
Exactly.
But America had the best.
Had
even
the
though
best.
inflation was right, it was the lowest of all of the inflation. So he comes in now with all of his talk with tariffs, everything go hack wild. You know, people don't forgot about the tariffs. He's making enemies of Canada, making enemies of Mexico, like people who are like our neighbors, our allies. And then now inside of that text, we was talking about with with them, they talked about Europe being what? That being greedy allies.
Yeah.
And not, this is the one thing I say about Trump that is right. America do pay more than what they do, what they should. In American affairs, when they do stuff with the UN, when they do stuff with the G7, America pays over. But it's like that rich friend, you know, like you got that rich friend, everybody come, you just expect them to pay.
Yeah.
And that's how it's been. And now they saying, hey, you maybe you ain't got to pay, but give me a reach for that wallet, like you about to pay.
Yeah.
Like you're about to pay. And when you start saying that, then the thing is, but how do you tell them in a different way than what he did? It's some things you could say in a different way. Yeah, we got a call on the line. Caller, welcome to Say Something Real.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just want to update y'all on something, okay?
Update us.
Now, knowing this, that I used to work for the state, okay? And that's my platform. I'll leave that right there, okay?
It's right there.
Now, Donald Trump basically is back to stop all investigation from rich folks, okay?
True.
That's been under criminal investigation. That's why he's going with Department of Justice, okay? Now, Elon Musk is not even
an elected
citizen. You know, he's not even a citizen. Yeah. He has seek asylum here. He only been here like 20-some years, 22 or some years, okay? He's from South Africa with the demeanor that he's from the white part of South Africa, of the takeover from Africa, where you have white folks that's holding within lands of Africa. So he's over here, okay, to find his better market, because all the rest of the countries wouldn't put up with his environment destruction of blasting rockets out into the atmosphere, okay? That's why he's here in America, okay? Now, by him being not even official American, and he has been here from the asylum, and also got the Democrats to bail him out, okay, with Tesla, okay? Now, he is an imposter. And Donald Trump got him sitting in, so you could blame all fingers at him, not at Donald Trump this time, because everybody called Donald Trump up on the first term, okay? Now, he's not even a citizen, but he's giving all these insights, more reflective of our privacy of our land that he doesn't even understand. How can a person come in and say what needs to be changed in another country that is not even born in this country? How can you even understand the connection of values of what money pays for what? Donald Trump basically psyched everyone up to make them think that they was going to do cuts for them. And a rich man has no care about a poor jigger bill, okay?
Very true.
They have no relation to poor people because they fly all over the land, okay? They have no time for sitting around us, okay? Now, what it is that
the rich folks had to pay as much as they get richer. Okay, that's the rule of the law. Okay, and they get taxed. So mostly the things that has to be handled for most of the major things, a lot of the rich folks had to pay double or triple. Okay, and that's the reason why they're stealing all the money back from being taxed from over centuries of time now. Okay, this is what Donald Trump is doing, and by him messing with anything has ties to a government fix, and he just been not prosecuted, but been wavered and expunged from all his accounts, which an average man would have been put to jail from off of one.
Very
all
true.
right?
Very true.
Now, go ahead.
No, I said very true. Keep going. I'm gonna let you flow.
Okay, so when he said that he was going to be a dictator, that right up front should have been a disqualification to America.
January 6th should have been a disqualification.
Yeah, it should have been a disqualification. So that itself should show that his judgments and his demeanor is a treason. Okay, what's the definition of treason now? He's cutting out everything of a Republican.
Hey, we coming against a break, so I want you to give us a nice, neat ending.
Okay, well, this is it. We got to get out in the street, and we got to start remembering how our ancestors stood up. But this time, we got to demand that and do just like the rest of other countries. Get these crooks up out of here that's sitting here trying to take us to the 17th century.
We're going to a break. You heard it here on WNOV, the voice of the community, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. We see you on the other side. Hey, you're listening to Say Something Real. Michelle Bryant, she's not here today, but I'm Kweku Akyirefi, your host, running it for the day. Michelle, I love you, but next time, yeah, we gonna get Keith in here and do the 4-man power shift from 7 to 11.
Hey, it's for the birds, huh?
Man. WNOV 860 AM 106.5 FM, the voice of the community. And since it's the voice of the community, we're going to go right to the community. We got a caller.
Good morning.
What's good, caller?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, thank
First
you
of
for
all,
calling.
I'd like to say, anybody that Donald Trump and Elon Musk is speaking up for,
Come
that's
on.
your first key not to vote for them, okay? They're not looking out for your best interest.
And so let's make that clear, because who is
needs
Elon?
to man up and do their job.
And I was going to say, let's
Number
make
one.
it clear. Who is Elon and Trump backing for the Wisconsin Supreme Court?
They're backing Schimmel.
Brother Brad Schimmel. We just want to make that clear. So if you like what Trump and Elon doing, get Brad to vote. If not, go on look at Susan Crawford. Keep going, Carla. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Say
and
your
then
piece.
the next thing, for superintendent of instruction, they're going with not Jill Underling, but the other person.
Brittany Kinzer, yeah.
There you go. Who had a person working that wasn't even qualified. And then my next thing is Congress should get on the ball and do this. From a stroke of a pen, you should not be able to abolish a federal organization. A president should not be able to get rid of education.
Department of Education.
That should not be done.
Yeah.
But in the Supreme Court, they're going to regret the power that they've given Donald Trump.
They are. They already have. They already do.
And I hope that the Republicans see it's about the party, not the people. That's why they've been given instructions not to have town hall meetings. And you were the ones that put them in office. Show them. Make it where they have to come and work together. By not putting in Republicans that do not want to work across the aisle. We live in a democracy, not a dictatorship. He has offered the what do you call those Russian people?
The Russian oligarchs.
That's right. Since what is it? You can pay for citizenship, 500 million.
5 million for the gold
5
card.
million. Okay. They've been getting a flood of people saying they want to buy in. And then people will wonder, well, how are we going to get a military together to fight our enemy with what's going on? We have each other looking at each other funny. I said, don't worry about it. He's going to gut us and give us over to Putin. Can't you see the plan? Don't you see it? Since he's been in office, it's been about him and going after the people that he felt did him wrong. So this man feels he's without sin. Who is without sin? And these people that own these big, powerful law firms are letting him punk them out. $40 million worth of legal work for him. Look, the Republican Party, if they don't go along with what he say, he will embarrass them. You think I'll work for somebody I have to check my brain at the door?
Yeah,
no way.
They didn't check their egos because he done talked about their wives and they still with him. They still bow down and kiss the ring.
Well, I know one thing. We have the power right now to make a difference. Vote no on that referendum question because there's already something in there covering that.
Yeah, and I think we want to make that clear because that's a good point. So when we go to vote, so many times you go in and you say, okay, I'm gonna vote for Susan, I'm gonna vote for Jill, and then you see some other stuff that you don't even recognize. And with question one, what that is basically is saying it's like, hey, do you need an ID to vote? We already got that, as a rule. But if that goes into effect, if you sign yes, that becomes now it's an amendment. And so in order to be able to change it, you're going to have to go back in to change it. And it's so much more difficult to be able to do that. So if you vote no, it's still going to really be the same. It's a lot more easier to change. So when you start thinking about the power that you give up, the power that they can have, and we know how they try to abuse that voter ID system, we got to be real careful about that. So go ahead, Debo.
When you allow somebody to go in and change verbiage, you certainly got to know what they wording it and how they wording it. So just leave it alone, and we ain't got to worry about that part.
Yeah, that sounds like an easy no to me.
Yeah. Because again, the wording is very important, and a lot of people overlook how it's worded, and it's set up that way because if you don't pay attention to it,
But it's purposely confusing because you look
Exactly.
at it, it ain't like a question where you say yes or no. You be like, what,
Like,
what is
what?
they asking? But that's why it's so important for us. That's why I love WNOV and stations like this, because it's saying, hey, listen, become informed. Don't just vote to say, oh, you know, they died for us for the right to vote. They didn't die for you just to vote. They died for you to be an informed voter and get people inside who's really going to work for you. You know, we talk about it all the time. People vote against their own best interest because they just uninformed, or they hear something that sounds good and shiny and move with it. Make sure you do your own research. That's what I love. Like I said, with this thing, it gives you like facts, but then you can go back it up and research it. And when you do that, you're gonna say, oh, they was telling the truth. This is what it is. So that's what we do. We got another caller on the line. Caller, we're gonna go to you. You on W1OV?
Shalom, family.
Peace.
My brother Kweku, how are we?
And I'm smiling.
Hey, it's good to hear your voice, man.
Appreciate that, King.
Listen, thinking about all these things that are going on, it made me ask myself, when was our most productive time as a people in this country? And I have to think it was after the Reformation, when we started building colleges and
Or the land grant colleges.
Yeah. All the things that we, the Black Wall Street, all of that whole era where after slavery, we recognized that the 40 acres and the mule wasn't going to be a reality because, this place has a history of going back on its word. And we see in that again, this is what Trump is talking about, make America great again. It's going back to a time when they believed it was great. And so
facts.
To a point, I think we need to realize that we need to take that slogan and take ourselves back to a time when it was great for us and start looking at, this whole thought about abolishing the education system and everything else that, they are talking about getting rid of. And we need to put into our mindset the things that our ancestors did that have allowed us to be who we are, where we are today. That resilience, that survival that they demonstrated, that is a part of us. It's our makeup. And, we need to get to that. I was watching one of the news broadcasts, and they were talking with a sister who wrote a book, Integrated. I didn't catch her name, but her point was that, she made a point that
Did we lose you, Brother Stingley?
No, I'm sure you got me.
Yeah, I got you.
That integration, really a detrimental thing for us. And so, for us to look at the facts, to look at the things that have happened, because her point was that the American education system really has failed us.
Brother Stingley, let me pause you for a second. I want you to hear this, and then I want you to respond, because I love everything you said, because it's like, I think our best time was when we were segregated, because we had our own. But every time we do have our own, like we said, then the Plessy versus Ferguson come. Then when we talk about even with the era of Black Wall Street, that was that red summer of 1919, because it was more communities than just, Wall Street that was burned and things of that nature. So it's like every time we come up, they come with a counter. And I love the resistance. I love the perseverance of our ancestors. But my question is this now. We know that we got the power to be able to do things and to be able to build. Our problem has always been able to hold and to maintain. So what do you believe we got to do different as this generation to be able to say, okay, we saw how our ancestors built it, but now what do we do? And I'm talking whether you want to call it a militia, security, or defense department. What do we do next to be able to maintain those things we build?
Well, there are groups now who are policing their own areas. I saw a report about, I think it was in Ohio.
Yeah.
Where the brothers and sisters,
when the KKK came down to the town.
Yeah. And if it takes that, because again, without an army, and I think this is one of the premises from which the nation operates under.
Yes.
Developing our own protection forces within our own community. First of all, to help people in our own community recognize we have to have order, right? So, and then that will show everybody else that we have to have order, and that we're willing to die for that order, right? Because that's essentially that's what it takes. In order to be, I mean, it's like you said, if you're not willing to live for something, die for something, you ain't willing to live for something.
Come on.
And so, these are the things that we fought for without getting the compensation for it, if you will, without getting the recognition for it. We've been here, our ancestors have fought for this country, and now they're trying to remove them from the historical, remembrance, right? Primarily for their children, so that they're not, having to look at what they've done and then, counting these people when you want to lie to them and tell them they're your equal. They're not your equal, but then they've done everything that is required to be, in treated the same way or treated humanely. So, I mean, we have to have protection. That goes without saying. But I think it's a mindset more than anything else. I mean, we have to first, as the sister said, these things are connected. We have to start telling our young people, if you're willing to throw trash in your own yard, you telling yourself you're willing to live in a garbage can.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole mentality has to be carried across the whole spectrum of what life is about, a quality of life thing. And so, and the fact is, and this is one of the things the sister was getting at in her book, the fact is this system was set up to bring about the results that we see, a self-destruction. And it's first mental before it becomes, actual and
that's to kill them before they grow. Kill them before they grow.
Absolutely. There it is. So, and I know you got other callers coming in, and, the conversation can be, directed in many different, tangents. But the thing that this administration is showing me with the dysfunction that we've been seeing in Trump's first term and then in this one, right, is that we shouldn't be surprised that what we're seeing is taking place, because he told us this is what they wanted to do.
The emperor has no clothes and we see him naked.
Yeah. And so, what we should have done back when Obama was president was to begin to put ourselves in position. I mean, it's the education we've attained is fine. All of that stuff, the business development, the numbers, the percentage of which we do operate in those spaces is a springboard, if you will. But it's not enough to support us now. But it's never too late to start from where we are. All right, and move forward. And these are the things that we need to recognize our ancestors died for, to give us an opportunity to be able to, become ancestors ourselves 100 years from now. So starting now and operating wherever it is on the planet we're going to be operating, because we have to recognize we're in a global society now.
Yeah.
Everything that happens ain't just here on this continent. And the most strength that we need to look at, I believe, is how do we get dual citizenship back in the motherland. I know you've been there and you talked about these things and what it did for you. But I have to think that if we really look at, what they're talking about doing with the Afrikaners, and I'm going to go after this.
All right.
What they're talking about doing with the Afrikaners, bringing them here, giving them, citizenship because they're ready to get pushed off the land that they took, right? And so if we as a people would go and find the various countries and nations on the continent that are willing to give us citizenship, and then go and apply for dual citizenship, because you cannot be forced to lose your citizenship here, which gives us some benefit. We built
this. We ain't gonna get that out.
Absolutely. You ain't gonna be foolish and throw that away. But to our benefit, and what would really I'm crazy if you had 50%. I mean, you take 20% of us and go do that, and what do you think the result, the outcome is going to be? They're going to be up in arms. Well, what is happening here, right? And that just be the beginning of it. But I think a move like that would be, comparable to what we saw coming out of reparation after slavery.
No, and you know how you know you're right, because that's why they try to make us be such at odds with our African brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
Or they put that enmity there. And even to the point, like you had said something, I don't want the people to miss this because I think it was so powerful when you talked about what the FOI does as a military. And I think that's why they made Minister Farrakhan such a public enemy number one too. So when you start thinking about every time you have a system that can defend itself, you go back to California with the Black Panthers. Soon as they start pulling out their guns, as much as Second Amendment rights they were, Mumford Act comes out to be able to put them guns up because they was like they having too much power. You put in the CIA, you put in the flood of drug stings to weaken the community. Every time you see it growing strong, so we understand their program. Every time we get strong, they bring in some kind of device where we have to be smart enough to recognize it, be able to defend ourselves from it, and understand, like you said, this is not the only game in town. And the more we connect with the Ghanas, with the Nigerians, the Burkina Fasos, the more we empower ourselves to be able to have more alliances around the world. And when you said this is from a geopolitical landscape, and we don't understand that, we're gonna be the easiest people to defeat at all times.
Oh, absolutely. But and on that point, if we recognize the power in connecting across the diaspora, right? Jamaica,
and there you go, Brazil. Let them remember who we were.
Where we are,
Brother Stigley, that's the music. We got to go, but I appreciate your call. You set it off this morning. You listen to Say Something Real. WNOV 860 AM, 106.5 FM, Kweku in Michelle's absence.
Donald Trump is out of control, stopping payments for healthcare and food for hungry kids, eliminating the Department of Education, and letting Elon Musk access your most private information. Now Trump and Musk are backing Brad Schimmel because they know he'll let them do whatever they want. Not Judge Susan Crawford. She'll be the check and balance we need to protect us from Trump when he goes too far. That's why we need Judge Susan Crawford on the Supreme Court.
Hey, welcome back to Say Something Real with Michelle Bryan. I'm Kweku Akyirefi filling in for her. Phone lines are ringing. We're going to go straight to the phone calls. Caller, what's good today? Caller, you there? We're going to give you one more second. Caller, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I know we had you holding on for a minute, so I was going to give you a second.
Almost out of there.
What's good? What's good today?
Okay. You know what? I've been listening.
Oh, okay. Meech, I'm ready for this. I've been waiting for you all morning, man. I love you. Come on with it.
Well, listen, I got a chance to listen and review a lot of the lower callers before I just jump in and get tossed everywhere. First of all, I heard a gentleman earlier, the guy that called and said, you right, I'm right. He just kept repeating redundantly in his spiel.
He kept saying okay, but he was talking about everything with Trump, and then he would just do an exclamation point with okay. But yeah, we hear you.
Okay. I mean, I understand that. I'm a Toastmaster.
You are.
I understand. I understand that the whole speech thing. That was
you waxed poetically too. So let me hear what you got this morning.
Well, the thing is that you allowed something to go past that could have been stopped and corrected.
All right. Well, that's why we got safety nets like you. Tell me what we missed.
The gentleman said Elon Musk is not even a citizen. That should have been corrected right then. Elon Musk is a citizen. Matter of fact, he got dual citizenship. He got trial residency because he got one here. His mama from Canada. He got one from Canada, and he's a South African. So.
Hey, Meech, did he come into the country legally when he first came in?
Well, can I tell you something? I don't know. I know he got his citizenship around.
But did he come in legally? So under the new rules they had, he would have been one of the immigrants they shipped out.
Well, it's a lot of it's a lot of them that's got to go. But check this here. I just want to make that clear. And I don't want to stay on my mind.
Okay, don't. If you're gonna make a point, that's right, and we concede that. I'm saying, okay, you got to give some back though. Did he come in illegally before he did it?
I told you, I don't know, but I know he become a citizen.
Well, I'm telling you, he didn't, and his brother verified it because Elon tried to do it. But let's go to the next point. We won't believe that.
But that's good. Now, but you understand what I'm saying?
No, true.
Corrected.
I stood on what you said. He does have a dual citizenship, no doubt.
Right. Okay. Now check this out. We're gonna get Elon out the way. Now I hear Brother Stingley, who I love dearly.
I love him too.
But he was sitting there talking, and he was talking about, are we willing to die for something? Let me listen to this here.
All right.
That's that's just a talking point because we're not really ready to die. We're not really ready to digress and get out the way. See, we got if the black man in America.
You went from die to digress, so I want you to illuminate on that point.
We have to be willing to give something back, man. We have to be willing to give something up. I know you're gonna say we gave up enough. Listen, man. With what they doing right now,
power concedes nothing without a demand. So when you go back, are you going back to take 2 steps forward? Or are you going back and going back and back and back consistently? Because it can go both ways.
No, brother. We're going back to take a plunging, launching forward, perpetual move. We not going back to just see the white boy that's getting rid of these people. They taking a little. They finna take a little hit too, but they not going back to stay back. They going back to take a launch forward. So what we're starting to realize is that if we be quiet, we're gonna take a launch forward. I'm not worried about being in South Africa. I'm not worried about going back and being enslaved and they can't do that. Okay,
we can't say what can't be done because with human trafficking today, it's slavery going on right under our noses. So we can't say what won't be when we see it already happening. And if you go to other parts of the world, you have slavery exactly as it exists. You take some of these immigrants that's in some of these rich people home, it's slavery in another form of fashion. So when we say we can't go back, we got to be careful with that because it's a lot of things they're trying to go back to. And they said if you don't know your history, you doomed to repeat it.
Brother, listen, all of that's good stuff, and I'm gonna get lost in the sauce if I don't keep going because you but listen, you saying human trafficking, that'll take me off to something else. You know what I'm saying? That'll divert me into.
But that's today's slavery.
Because well, listen
in
to
any
this.
form or fashion, whether it's a war soldier, whether it's harvesting organs, whether it's the sexual trade, whether it's making people immigrant workers, labor workers, it's all about stealing the commodity of a people and misusing them and abusing them for your capitalistic gain. So you saying we can't go back there? I'm saying we already there.
I want to say this to you, man. I want to say this to you.
I'm
Because
listening.
you're a very bright young man, and I can't old man. You're probably older than me. I'm a young guy. And I've heard you talking. I've heard you talking.
People calling me old.
I've heard you talk, but I'm gonna tell you something, man. That it's a lot of us would have slaves today, black folk, if we could have them. Okay, we would definitely.
It was black people who had slaves during that time.
Huh?
I said it was black people who owned slaves during slavery.
Well, that was a slave dream, to buy himself some freedom and buy himself a slave or two and breed his own slave. I mean, that was his dream.
I'm not good with even black.
That was the black man's American
capitalism. So I'm with you there.
That was the black man's American dream.
Every time we go to Walmart, we don't want to admit it, but we know we profiting off of the slave labor of somebody being abused in a third world country.
Well, brother, that's what. Listen to this here. I understand that whole deal. If you look at the electric car, the way that they're getting that cobalt out of Africa, them is kids over there.
Similar to blood diamonds.
And they dying by the grove just to make these electrical batteries. So I get all of that, but I don't want to go. I'm trying to show you that we as black folk gonna have to take a hit. And I know it's not going to be a comfortable hit, but if we want to get all of this garbage that has hijacked the civil rights, man, that our people have bled, sweat, and died for, that was really meant for enslaved Africans and newly freed Africans and descendants of slaves here in this country. That's what it was for, if you go back and read it. Now, if we really, really, really want to go forward, we're going to have to allow these people to weed out the people.
Who is these people? Who is these people? Be specific.
Homosexuality. Okay, these immigrants that's coming in here right now through the Social Security. One come across that border. Watch this dude. One come across this border. She got one baby in this hand, one baby in this hand. They done got her pregnant at the border through the human trafficking. They sending them in here pregnant. Okay.
See, I was with you for a minute, man. It's like, you know, when you're on the bus and you ride and something happen, you pull that bus and say, stop right here.
So you don't believe, hold on. So you don't believe they getting them pregnant at the border, coming in here dropping babies?
Bro, that's not the point. You went into a love term with the homosexual, then you can't.
Hold on, because this is why they scrubbing. This is why they scrubbing this stuff. The wording. The wording, man, has played a great play.
What did the Statue of Liberty say? Bring me your weak, bring me your poor, bring me your downtrodden. That's what the U.S. was about. That's why everybody wanted to come. It was a land of opportunity. And if we're gonna be real with the border, what did Columbus and them do? What did everybody from the Pentagon, all of them come?
I can't believe this shit, man.
Oh, come on.
You one of them brothers. No.
I'm just giving you facts. We can't argue with facts.
No, I ain't no victim. This is for real. No, you give it. What you giving me is you a situation where I must be bowed down and tied and allowing somebody else to step on me, man, to use what my people's done did to give to them. It ain't that much freedom in the world, brother. Bro, it ain't that much freedom in the world for you.
Go ahead. I'm gonna put mine out on you.
Hey man, hold on. Meech, listen, brother. First of all, I'm gonna say this real quick, and then we're gonna have to get up out of here. I've never known anybody that's so concerned about what people do in their bedroom. That's one. Two. Hold on, brother. Two. You talking about homosexuality and all this other stuff, but do you know? Hold on, let me finish, brother. Hold on. So I'm gonna mute you for 1 second so I can get this done. Do you know that when they had the Republican Party here, that app for all of the homosexuality was blowing up off the chain? And you talking about this, but the Republican Party that was so against this homosexuality is taking part of it. So what do you say about that?
But listen,
Hey,
brother.
we
it's
coming
just as
close to a
many-
break, me. So I need your last
Brother.
point. I need your last point because we
listen.
coming towards a break.
See, the brother jumped on that, and I want to go somewhere else, man. He tied me up.
How
I
you want to
shouldn't
go
have said
somewhere
that.
else? And you
Hold on,
introduced
hold on,
me.
this somewhere.
man. Hold on.
Michelle
It's
loving
just
this
as many
somewhere.
gay. It's just as many gay white Republicans or black Republicans gay that it is white and black Democrats. The only difference is one keeping his mouth closed and in the closet, and the other one
He
is
ain't
brand
keeping
out
his mouth
closet.
closed.
Hold on,
He just ain't saying it around you, brother.
No,
music,
brother.
'cause we-
They're not pushing laws. They're not pushing laws and using.
But
you
they still
to use the
taking
word
part of
hate
it, bro.
speech.
Okay,
Do you
hey, Meeks, we
have
got
you
a guest in the
benefited from the word?
stadium.
Man,
Hey,
listen
pull
to
him
this
down.
shit. Have you
We'll cue
benefited
him right
from
here.
the word? Have you
Hey,
benefited
Meeks,
from any of the
I
hate crime bills?
close him out. Meeks, we got to go to a break, and when we come back in, I'd have had a guest since 8 o'clock that was here waiting to talk and everything like that. So Meeks, as interested as you are, as entertaining as you are, we got to move over because I want to make sure I get Sister Kelly Felder in here because she got some information that's going to help the community. You know, we can talk about problems all the time, but when we start talking about solutions, that's what we need air for. We're going to come back with that economic solution. WNOV 860 AM 106.5 FM. You are listening to Say Something Real with Michelle Bryant. Hey, welcome back to WNOV 860 AM 106.5 FM. You're listening to Say Something Real. No, it's not Michelle Bryan, but it's Kweku Akyirefi. Not Keith Paris, not Jermaine Reed, not Jermaine Rideout, your brother Kweku. But hey, you know what? Honestly, I love the conversation. And every time I listen to the show in the morning before I come in, listen to Michelle and Keith, I love the energy that they bring. They do things that I don't feel I can do on my show because I'm trying to come in with a specific period with something to talk about. And I love how they show can kind of just go from place to place. And they'll talk about something a little silly, then they'll talk about something in the community, something from a political standpoint on a federal level. But then they always come back. And one of the things I like is they talk about, well, what our community gonna do. So we're not just about talking, we're about doing something. And so when I think about, like, right now, I had the pleasure to have Kelly Felder on my show, Nayumba Pendo, about 2 Wednesdays ago. And you had came in and you were talking about doing a boot camp for young people. So I just want to ask you right off the bat, like how did that go for you?
Oh, the boot camp was wonderful. Good morning, everyone. And we had a wonderful time. Thank you to my volunteers that came out. Thank you to BMO for being a sponsor. Homer Blow was a sponsor, and Kiana Brown was a sponsor. So it was a great outpour from the community. Being on his show, being on your show, really opened a lot of people's eyes to things that I do outside of what they already know that I'm a part of. So it was wonderful. So it was part 1.
Well, no, I love that because, like we said, we don't just want to do a one and done. It sometimes if you get that's better than nothing. But to be able to teach our young people the spirit of entrepreneurship, I think this goes back to the other one because you're responsible. And if I'm building something, now the places where I'm at, I take more pride in. I want it to be better. I want it to be clean. But that was for the youth. Now I know you got something coming up for the adults that you said, hey, this can make an impact in your life immediately, especially for those looking for work. So we got a construction job fair. Tell us just a little bit about that.
Okay, yes. So for the people that know me, they know that I work for Brothers Infrastructure Group, and we are a Black-owned civil engineering and construction company.
I love it.
So next week, Monday, we're going to have a union and non-union job fair.
That's March 31st.
It is March 31st. It's going to be at 4727 West Center Street. The flyer is posted on LinkedIn, on our
and on
Facebook
WNOV
page.
YouTube page right now if you're looking on YouTube.
Okay, well, thank you. Okay, so we are hiring union and non-union. We are signatory to the Laborers Union 113 and the Operators Union 139. So we're excited. We have a lot of contracts coming up, and we want to make sure that the individuals in Milwaukee can come and apply for the positions. So if you want to have a one-on-one with the CEO, take a look at the flyer, and there's a link there. So if it's a PDF, the link is live. You can just click the link and hop on. If not, then I'll make sure that I post the link on Facebook. So if you want to meet with the CEO on Saturday via Zoom,
so talk about that because a lot of times people go into a job fair, there's like, well, what I need to do to be prepared. Do I need to have a resume? Do I need to look a certain way? But you're saying on Saturday you're going to have a Zoom meeting from what time to what time?
So the Zoom meeting is going to be from 10 to 11, and you're going to be able to meet one-on-one with the CEO, and he's going to give you background about the company and what you need to do to prepare yourself for Monday.
Now, do I have to go to the Zoom? If
you do not, so it'll be advantageous to do that to meet and see. Well, not meet, but yeah.
You meet and greet virtually.
Yeah, virtually. The CEO of the company, he is a civil engineer here in the city of Milwaukee. So
you keep saying he. Can we have a name? We want to.
His name is Tyrone Johnson.
All right, respect to brother Tyrone Johnson, CEO, Black-owned civil engineer. We want to give him his love.
Yeah, absolutely. Great partner. So we're excited. The job fair will have 2 sessions. It's going to have the laborers and flaggers. Look for laborers and flaggers.
Can you talk about the difference between laborers and flaggers?
So the laborers, the flaggers are just what you see.
Literally.
The ones outside making sure that the grounds are safe. You're flagging. Okay. So the laborers are more so they have a deeper job description. Yeah. They're going to work under the journeyman to do the forms because we specialize in concrete. So we specialize in forming. So whenever you walk into someone's basement, you're looking like, okay, probably civil engineering company probably did
okay.
this. So we think of the terms of, those lines when it comes to that type of construction. So we
Putting in the
do.
true foundation when you building in.
Yes, foundation is important. That having a strong foundation is the key to life.
Yeah.
So that's what we specialize in, and that's what we do, and we're excited.
So
about this
sometimes,
job
like, you
fair.
go to a job fair and people wonder, like, how long is it from the time of this job fair to potentially getting hired and then getting some money in my pocket? Do you have kind of a timeline when you're looking to hire the people that come?
So we're looking to hire. Our job fair is on Monday. We're looking to have everybody in place by at least Thursday.
Oh, so you're talking about
Yes.
crazy quick turnaround.
Yes, crazy quick turnaround. Government contracting. So you need to be skilled.
Okay, so government contracts, are these solidified? We know what's going on with the government now. These contracts.
Oh, these are solidified.
Okay.
The checks are ready.
All right.
So
the money is good.
the money.
Everybody's
Oh
saying,
yeah, the money is
no
very
carpet
good.
being pulled from under your feet.
No. Mm-mm.
So
And the purpose and the background of our company, there are two things.
All right.
So we have Brothers Infrastructure Group, and then we have Big Inc. MKE. That's our nonprofit side. So our nonprofit side holds the 10-week course for individuals looking to go into the trades. So that's the pre-apprenticeship side.
So if
we
I'm
got
like
two
a flagger,
sides.
but I want to go into being what you say, journeyman or laborer, is that like that process?
Well, that process is that's on the job. Yes.
Okay.
So you need 2,000 on-site hours, and you also need that classroom piece.
Okay, so that's 1 year, 2,000 at a
Those
full-time
are 2,000 hours you would need. So like your first year, you would need a certain amount of hours in your second year. So it's a process to becoming a journeyman.
Yeah.
So you start off as a laborer. A lot of people start off in a laborers union, and the purpose of it is to break the two pieces down. The education side will come through our nonprofit, and then you graduate.
How much is that class?
How much is the class?
Yeah. Roughly,
Okay,
because a lot
so-
of times, finances can be a barrier. So I'm just curious. So if somebody's looking, they was like, I want to do this, but how much do I need to save? How much do I need to have?
Okay. We would prefer to have sponsors for that because it's 5,000 per person.
Okay.
And the reason why it's broke down like that, because they get a weekly $500 stipend to do the class.
So they getting paid to do the class.
Oh yeah, we want to make sure that you're able to get there, and you may have a few bills, and we don't want you to be discouraged or walk away because you don't have the money to stay. So we
who
want
do we
you
get
to
to sponsor?
stay.
Who, for the people listening, say I might want to be a sponsor? Who are like potential sponsors?
Well, WRTP Big Step could be a potential sponsor, like Job Corps could be a potential sponsor, Employ Milwaukee could be a potential sponsor.
Like
I had this
those
challenge.
Groups? Okay.
So I had this challenge. And I was talking to my girlfriend. Shout out to Jennifer Potts. And we had a conversation on the phone at like 5:30 in the morning. And I told her I wanted a $200,000 challenge, right?
All right.
So we have millions of people in the city of Milwaukee, right? And we have like organizations like the Bader Foundation and Greater Milwaukee. And we always go to these organizations and everybody's fighting for $10,000. If we have all these residents in the city of Milwaukee, how about 200,000 Black people donate $1?
So we talking about a GoFundMe that ain't for tragedy, but for something that's going to build a
it's
power.
For something that,
Kickstarter almost in a sense. No,
so
I love
if there are nonprofit organizations that, hey, I'm looking for 200,000 people to donate $1, everybody gonna say, oh, I got $1.
I got $1.
But they may not be able to give up 20.
Yeah.
But if we had 200,000, we had a whole march here and said 200,000 people show up and donate $1, how many organizations in the inner city would meet their goal?
No, we was just talking about how much money they spending on these elections and whatnot like that. And they spending money for commercials that don't nobody want to hear, that make you not want to vote for either one of the candidates. But just a fraction, a percentage of that could turn around lives economically. And that's what we were talking about before, Jermaine. Like, it's solutions to the program, to the problem, if we really wanted to do it. But since they not doing it, I love like the initiative you all are doing. So the people come, is there an age range on this?
You have to be 18. You have to be 18. You don't have to.
What if you're 16 and emancipated, or 17 and emancipated?
Well, in order to get into the union, you have to be 18.
All right.
So there's
18 is a hard number.
Yeah, that's a solid number.
So you got to be 18 by
and ready
Thursday?
to work. We are a firm that is very firm on working. So I'm gonna throw this out there. My son worked for me twice. The first time he didn't show up, he got fired. I fired him.
Wait, you
Mama
fired
don't
your
play.
son?
I did.
Jesus.
And now he's been working for me. He came and he was like, Mom, I'm ready. So you have to be ready to step into my life at any point. You got to be ready.
I know that's right.
And he was like, okay, Mom, I'm ready.
No,
I said, okay. And he's been working and he's been he said, see, I'm the first one on the job. You better stay that way.
Yeah.
You know, you don't get
Mama
special
gonna fire
treatment because Mama gonna let you go.
It's like, no, my mama running this.
And there are individuals that make more money than him. You gonna have to work your way up too. You know, so look, if I fire my son, I'll fire you too.
Yeah.
You have to come.
So what you're saying is you
ready.
want somebody who's responsible, who's dependable, who's ready to learn.
Absolutely. And I want the listeners and anybody that comes into this job fair, don't treat Black companies
like your cousin now.
Yes. Because if you're gonna go, you worried about this white company firing you and saying, man, I gotta do X, Y, and Z because I want to keep my job. Feel the same way because we're gonna love you differently. You know, we're gonna train you differently, we're gonna talk to you differently. You know, so
listen, Kelly, you hear the music, and that means we coming to a close. I want you to say everything again as far as where people can get information for the job fair, for the Zoom, and for the actual thing. You give us that information real quick.
Absolutely. If you need additional information, you can just email me at info@bigunderground.com and check out our Facebook page for Brothers Infrastructure Group, our Instagram page, and everything is posted there.
4727 West Center Street, Monday, March 31st. At what time?
Starting at 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
9 to 1. There's no excuse. Hey, everybody. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to be on with Michelle, Brother Debo, Brother Rideout. Man, I love y'all. Thank y'all for making this so easy for me. We're going to get Michelle back next week and get the real deal. You've been listening to Say Something Real, WNOV.